This is the book of Nahum, chapter 3, verse 1. Woe to the bloody city! It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. Verse 2. The noise of a whip, and the noise of the rattling of the wheels, and of the prancing horses and the jumping chariots, and of the jumping chariots. Verse 3. The horseman lifteth up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain, and a great number of carcasses, and there is none end of their corpses lay, Salakia, and there is none end of their corpses, they stumble upon their corpses. Verse 4, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft, that settleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts. I want to start off by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to call William, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Racha, Kodash Brakatham. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so. Now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwath and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. It's the brother Yahweh Sop out of the GMS Cleveland Church and fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai. Basically, it's a quick lesson on, I got this article from watching the elder Yasha Wamba from Dallas, one of his in the news series of videos, and he made mention of in Illinois, they have erected a display, and yes, that's what you can see is a baby Baphomet. So it mighty coincidental in the timing of this, because you got to understand, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is the ultimate master of time, and timing, comedy is about timing, you know what I mean? You know when to place that perfect joke, so you set a person up, or boxing, a lot of things is timing, and Satan does things based on timing. On timing, he'll literally wait to a certain moment when you're dealing with all different kind of stuff, and then he'll come, like with the story of Job, not the story, the account of Job, after losing this and losing that, he had, and it was like back to back, he had to petition Yahweh about Shemi Al-Shai. And that's why I said Jake, but, because Job was a Jake. That's why Job was so low in the spirit, to the point of being depressed, to the point of seeking death, praying for death. But at the same time, he held his integrity, But not to digress. So, saying all that to say this, and that's why I came out with that scripture in Nahum, because America's the bloody city, and America's that whore. Because when you go into the whore that sitteth upon the beast, the beast is NATO and the EU, so it's those countries in collaboration. They all, joined on to one another. But America's the whore that sits on that, because America's the one that dictates. That's why like Trump and even Biden, basically Trump was good for putting sanctions on Russia and all these different countries. So, the bitch that sit upon that beast, that many headed beast is America. So again, like I said, when you read Nahum, when it talks about it's full of lies and blood and robbery, because this place was supposedly supposedly have been founded on biblical principles. These people that supposed to landed here were supposed to be Christians, but in reality, a lot of them were Masons. When you go into the whole Boston Tea Party, You come to find out that wasn't about tea. Come to find out that actually was about. I learned this from a Mason. That was actually about the right because that's how you got the Prince Hall sect of Masonry. So Esau Edom broke upon that ship to try to find that document because I forgot what king you would have to go do the research. It was a king that that gave them a charter, basically. Yeah, I mean, this place is steeped in lies. What you think, how like for instance the tradition of Thanksgiving, people celebrate that thinking that it's something glorious, and then you go talk to Gad and come to find out Gad understands it's basically a celebration to the slaughter of their people. But the average dumbass American doesn't, based on lies. You have a lot of people literally about to participate in this Saturnalia worship, but they thinking it's a beautiful thing. Like the elder Yashawama went into yesterday is really they're celebrating Sol Invictus, which is pagan. It's about sacrifice. Uh, you know, uh, but they dress it up at Christmas as something wholesome and beautiful. And and like I said, when you look at the enchantments on these different things, like I was watching. Well, I wasn't really watching. I was in the living room. My kids was running back and forth from the room they play with their toys in to the living room, and so the TV happened to be on, and Charlie Brown Christmas came on, and I'm in the truth, and you can feel the enchantment on it. Like they went into the whole, because basically it was a play. If you've never seen Charlie Brown's Christmas, and to the point where they go into what's the whole purpose of Christmas, and they like the birth of the Savior and all that. And I ain't gonna lie, and I'm in the truth. I had to snap out this shit, like, cause the way they dressed it up, but that's all witchcraft and sorcery. You know what I mean? Like, so if I know the truth and understand that these enchantments, because the brothers was just speaking on that, these enchantments are going to get stronger. And although, the mirth of this place is gone, you can see that they're not putting up the Christmas lights and yada, yada, yada. Yet still, though, you got a lot of people about to go broke trying to still participate in this stupid ass holiday. Don't even know why they buying presents for one another. Like, this would be the year you shouldn't be buying nothing. There ain't even no fucking snow. It ain't no lights up. But you still see that one or two houses within or on that whole street that's lit all the way the fuck up. You about to have people about to go broke when you already got a broken supply chain in order to appease some, they family or whatever the fuck. Just the other day I was walking past this demon and I guess the dude and their kids, and she talking about what she want. She not taking nothing else but this. She want either this or this, and he just up there listening. I'm like, damn, like Jake is like ostracized and is like Jake looking shit. Salakia, that's like 8 minutes. I ain't planning to make this that long. There's a lot going on. So I'm gonna read a little bit of this article. You can check it out on your own. It says Springfield, Illinois, and that's what I meant to mention. And it's mighty coincidental that this came out, or I got led to the direction of this information, and right before I found this, they was talking about that Baphomet, ain't that something? That Baphomet, Lori Lightfoot, she basically making it like New York, where you can't enter bars, restaurants without proof, of talking to that bitch, Vanessa. So at the end of the day, and somebody just made mention of this, in which they're going to do it like that. Like they're going to hit these major cities first. You're going to hit your New Yorks, your Los Angeles, your New Yorks, your Los Angeles, then your Chicago's, all these major cities. And then they'll, it's going to trickle down. And then you're going to see who's really bucking up and who, like the guy DeSantis, the governor of Florida, he said that they're not locking down. Now, that's easier said than done. We'll see how that works out when that happens, Because as far as secession, to a degree, but that movie Bushwick, not Bushwick, but Bushwhacked or whatever with Bautista, that's all about sedition. Texas seceded from the United States, so they evaded. But anyhow, says Springfield, Illinois, a satanic holiday display has made a reappearance under the Illinois State Capitol dome. Members of the Satanic Temple of Illinois came to Springfield, Illinois, Monday to install a satanic display in the rotunda. The installation depicts the deity Baphomet as a baby. Satanic Temple members said that the display is meant to represent plurality, unity, compassion, and empathy, and described it as a display of positive values. The Capitol welcomes a diverse range of religions every year to display holiday statues during the holiday season. So we wanted to join in on that. Satanic Temple of Illinois Minister Adams said. Minister Adams did not provide a surname. Minister Adam. And you know it's funny because I got this fucking devil named Adam leaving messages on my comment board. And you know he talking about because I did a video about the rapper Waka Flocka saying he don't believe in God. Out of the blue, some guy named Adam just leaves me a message talking about aliens, this and that, and all this old stupid ass shit. And I'm like, well, all this information you left me, you could have put on your fucking channel. You like, why you got to put on my channel to let me know this shit? You know what I mean? Like, you try to build on my foundation, like you go get your own. You know what I'm saying? And the funny part, I need to express this because I tried to tell brothers at the end of the day, and YouTube, that's how you know that they really against us. I commented that, and then he went to comment, but they blocked it where I can't see the comments or respond. So you got people commented based on my comments and people's comments, but they're not allowing me to comment. You know, it's like when you look at America, how America was set up. Like, it's this book called, it's a book called How Did White Folks Get So Rich? And in that book, it literally shows you how this system is designed to take advantage. It's basically designed against Jake. That's how you know we the people, because when you really sit back and look at how the system is designed against us, yet we still prosper and still maintain in it. You know, that's why the statistics talk about how more Edomites own their houses than Jake, and just all the, you know, more Edomites get certain kind of benefits than Jake. You know what I mean? You know, I think home ownership was like 70%, and then Jake, it was like 30 to 40% or something like that. Because, you know, Esau is able to buy a home and leave that home to his, you know, his future generations, and able to leave money, or was able to leave money to his future generations, as opposed to Jake wasn't. You know, Jake, during the Depression, was able to actually save money. And then during that time, that's when Esau, Edom, Satan, you know, sparked Esau, Edom up, and that's when, you know, he bombed Black Wall Street. Because, you know, and that's what the brothers in Mississippi was speaking on. They was like, stupid bitch, our women so against us, they'll talk shit. We need to be more like Esau. But when Esau was taking a beating, Jake was flourishing. They was talking about during that time, we saved Cadillac. That's why the joke that literally they make, oh yeah, the first thing a nigga do is when he gets some money is buy a Cadillac. Well, the thing is, we kept Cadillac fucking going. That's history. Salakia. Just feet away from the satanic display, members of the Catholic group American Society for the Defense of Tradition, Family, and Property gathered to protest. Parishioners held banners reading, Satan has no rights, and Mary crushes the serpent. Yeah, and this is all division, you know, which is, you know, like, come on, like, to show you how really this, and this is this devil's true nature, because the thing is this, most religions, false or not, you know, their deity that they're worshiping is like he portrays a certain type of thing. You know, the Most High Yahweh Shah that we worship has a certain characteristics and a certain, you know, personality. You know, he's not the God of Christianity who loves everybody. Ours is austere, and you know, he's loving, but he's austere as well. You know, he don't fuck around. He don't play no games. You know what I mean? As opposed to, you know, sweet baby Jesus just forgiving all the sins. You know what I mean? When, you know, we say that he could, the Most High Yahweh Shah can forgive your sin, but he also doesn't have to. It tells you Fear not the one that can destroy the body, but fear the one that can both destroy both body and hell. I mean, body and soul in hell. But to show you how demonic it is, basically Baphomet is to anti against, Satan worship. Satan is the adversary to the Most High. Yeah, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. In Christianity, they would call him God. He's the adversary to God. Satan is. So why would you allow? Like this, I mean, I don't know about every other religion like that. I know, Islam, they have I won't call them an antagonist. What I'll say is like, everything is to a degree duality. Islam has because they have like something that's like the Antichrist. I forgot what he's called. You know, and they have like basically a spiritual. I ain't gonna say negativity, but a spirit in charge of evil. Put it like that. So why? But you don't see none of these other religions bringing. Put it like this. I, they talk about religious freedom, but at one point in time, America was the same country that was actually hanging women being accused of witchcraft. Now this is openly accepted. The turning of things upside down, just hilarious. The Satanic Temple of Illinois says they invited on November 30th, the Springfield Diocese installed a nativity scene in the rotunda. During that installation, Bishop Tom Paparocki said there was no place for satanic displays in the Capitol or anywhere. And this is in the capital of Illinois, which is always significant. A state of Illinois is required by the First Amendment of the United States Constitution to allow temporary public displays in state capitals so long as their displays are not paid for by tax dollars. Because the first floor of the Capitol Rotunda is public place, state officials cannot legally censor the. Yeah, okay. They said basically because of the law, we can't just like stop, your rights to be able to express yourself. Although every day it's been some, they've showed you that they can stop you from expressing yourself. Like literally, people have been incarcerated for literally standing out in public and basically proclaiming their beliefs. But now, this is, at the end of the day, it's all an agenda. So I got two more scriptures, and I'm going to end this lesson. At the end of the day, scriptures tell you not to partake in our ways. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, let me get that. This book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 9. When thou art come into the land which the Lord thy power give thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. So this is in the book of Deuteronomy when Moses was basically dealing with the children of Israel, and he was telling them what to do, what not to do, the law, statutes, commandments, yada, yada, yada. Not yada, 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 Salakia, but he was giving them, the knowledge of how to deal with Yahweh Shem Yahshua, what he likes, what he does not like, what to do, what not to do. Verse 13, Salakia, it says, verse 10, there shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or observer of times, or enchanter, or a witch. And, we have a lot of our people that are heavily steeped into that, from the tribes of Judah, Levite, to Ephraim. It's a lot of ancestral worship in Ephraim. I never knew that until I met Ephraimite. I used to deal with this. She looked like an Edomite, but she was Jake. She had children with Jake, which was Ephraim. It was two Edomite looking sisters that actually had children with two Ephraimite brothers, and they had a sister. And long story short, the mother died, and the sister had built a shrine, and basically the shrine was all the things that the mother liked. There's a picture of the mother, things that she liked, and then, you know, with the picture around it, and they left these little things, and they would pray to her and whatnot. And I think the scriptures go into that about how Ephraim was joined onto idolatry. So we're not supposed to partake in that. And this place, America, which I went into to a degree with that Nahum, is heavily steeped in it. That's why you see all the symbolism, all the geometry, the sacred geometry, Because when you go into pentagrams and certain occultic shapes and sigils, that's all, geometry. You know what I mean? When you go into the pentagram, that's geometry. When you go into Pythagoras, you know what I mean? That triangle. What is that? Two of them make a pentagram. Or a six-pointed star, rather. What's that? A hexagon. Verse 11. Or a charmer or a consultant with familiar spirits or a wizard or a necromancer. And like I said, these masons and Eastern stars, they're witches and warlocks, wizards, you know what I mean? And America is... That's what America's truly founded on. It's not founded on American biblical principles. It's not founded on the Bible. That was the front. And that's how you know this man is the devil. That's how you know who is whom. Because this man literally portrayed it and deceived everybody to make him think that he was one way when his true nature is this. If this place was really founded on the scriptures, you wouldn't be seeing what you're seeing today. You wouldn't be, America, that ain't that much long ago. I've seen that people that have grown up in the church, it tells you the scriptures, train up a child in the way that should go and they shall not depart. Even if they, I've seen people that literally been in the streets, like DMX, for instance. DMX was what you would call a nigga. But at the same time, DMX believed in the Bible. DMX believed in the Most High God. He might have not had the truth. He might have, but he believed in the scriptures. And that's 9 times out of 10 because, that was instilled into him. Verse 12, for all that do these things are abomination unto the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. And because of these abominations, the Lord thy power, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, thy power doth drive them out from before thee. And, at the end of the day, but we're being tempted with them now, like I said, that was in the land that we were coming to possess, but in the land that we were driven to, because you got to remember, we went into slavery, hardcore bondage, and in these lands, we're steeped in it. In the ancient Greek lands, we were steeped in it. That's where you get the, because we got people of our nation that's actually became heathens because they fell away from the law, statutes, commandments, and their traditions, and took it on the traditions of their captors. So, yeah, this place is founded on, like I said, witchcraft and sorcery, and you're gonna see more of it come out as the closer and closer we get to the end. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. And the virgin daughter of Babylon is America, a.k.a. Babylon the Great. It's a virgin daughter because it's never been invaded by a foreign power. They've had their wars as far as like the Civil War and whatnot, but, this place is like America goes to other countries, boots on the ground first. No country has ever done that here. Even with the situation with the war between England and America, that was, but you got to remember, the people that founded this land were from that land. They the same fucking people. Just like the Russians, they're the same people. It's just their greed is what's really, because at the end of the day, nothing has changed. Everything is about resources and who controls them, because everything is about, power, rulership, dominion. And these devils, you got people simple like that don't see it that way. Why do you think they control? Sanctions is a way to actually control the other nations without actually having to actually put boots on the ground. But it's about to come to the point where they about to put boots on the ground. You can see this situation brewing up between Russia and Ukraine and NATO and the U.S. Yeah. The Lord is working a work, because they have made void thy law. Verse 2, take the millstones and grind meal, and cover the locks, make bare the legs, and cover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Verse 3, pass over the rivers. Verse 3, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, and yea, thy shame shall be seen. Brother just put a video, an article in the chat. Let me get it real quick. Iran threatens sanctions against U.S. over treatment of black Americans. And, this is a joke. Well, I ain't going to say a joke, but it's propaganda to a degree. But nonetheless, other countries do recognize, you got to understand, these people still recognize they know who we are. You know what I mean? Everybody know who we are except for Jake. You know what I mean? The main ones that's supposed to care about who you are don't care. That shows you a testament to how destroyed our are, But you still got a remnant, and that's who's fighting for, the whole nation. And I pray that I'm part of that. But that's a shame, just with all this homosexuality coming out and the pizza gate and just all this different stuff, Biden lied about little things like basically forgiveness of the student loan thing. And then now they're talking about actually reinstating it at a time when people are about to be in more debt because inflation's kicking in and things are about to be harder. And that's why we reiterate, but yet still you got stupid ass people that's about to spend all their money on a pagan ass holiday, put themselves in more debt when shit about to be, they're not kicking out, like they say actually the Federal Reserve is about to actually slow down monetary help because of the fact of inflation. So as far as stimulus and whatnot, they feel that they're doing enough by giving these families, and this is all pre set up. If you can't tell, that's why they actually passed that and put that in law to give these families, the income prior, because you got right now it's an all-time high in jobs. If you got people quit jobs and going to get a job the same, like will leave one job and go to another job. That's why you got a lot of people not enforcing the mandate like that, because they already having a hard time keeping people. So just imagine when they lock this shit down again. Because that's coming. It's inevitable. Salakia. It says, thy nakedness shall be covered, yea, thy shame shall be seen, and I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. Skipping to verse 8, therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am none else besides me, I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. And that's going into this fucked up ass place, America, aka Babylon the Great, into this pride of this devil. Because these the only people with how bad this economy just was affected. Look at when Trump was, in office. He exudes the pride of this nation of people. Make America great again. On top of all the scandals. This show you how simple people is. This man put in place a lot of policies that benefited him. This man was a businessman. Which in their constitution say that a businessman can't never be the president. That should have been an indication that this shit over with. Verse 9, but these people, these red-blooded Americans, they're supposed to be so much Americans, but don't even know they own shit. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment and one day. To thee in a moment and one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfections for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me, thy wisdom and thy knowledge, and have perverted thee. And thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else besides me. It tells you in the scriptures that a fool doesn't believe there's a Most High power, because this devil believes he's a power, because the Most High set him up. It tells you in the book of Job that the deceiver and the deceiver are both his. He's given him knowledge So therefore, this devil thinks that he's puffed up. But it tells you also in the scriptures that knowledge of wickedness is not true wisdom. So you got much knowledge. You got knowledge of good, knowledge of wickedness. But without true wisdom, you're not even gonna know how to use that knowledge. Just like how a gun can actually protect you, a gun can actually harm you. You know, verse 11, therefore shall evil come upon thee, for thou shalt, Salakia, thou shalt not know from whence it rises, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Because this place is about to be judged. And you see it, you can see this shit leading up if you got a spiritual eye. You know what I mean? And this is like spiritual. Like say, what did it say in the book of Joel about the Lord will pour out the Spirit on all flesh, and your son shall prophesy, and your women shall dream dreams. Roughly paraphrased. And I just was watching a video. This guy got a channel called Money Motivated Stars, and you got people that's not into the truth but are awake and aware enough because that's the Lord poured out the Spirit. Now, you know what I mean? For whatever the reason the Lord gonna use them, because like it's one thing to be aware of America is the way it is, but to be awake, if you a so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native American, Civil, Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, is to be awake and aware of who you are as a people. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, being aware and calling yourself awake because America ain't shit and this place is really not what you thought it was. Okay, now that you know that and you see what direction America going into, how about just being awake and recognizing who America is and what it really is, what it truly represents? How is that going to help you with the agenda they got planned? It won't. Being awake and aware of to who you are, if you are a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Civil, Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, that you are a prince of the power, Yasharala, he prince power, and your power, Yahweh Shem Shah, has put you, basically punished you by having you come or be put into bondage to this wicked ass place, but he has also allowed you to be awakened to who you are and who he is, your father, Abba, your power. What can save you? By repenting and coming back to the law, statutes, and commandments. Because with what's about to come, you're not going to be able to save yourself. You're going to need divine intervention. Verse 13, thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee, which they cannot. At the end of the day, it show you that in the account of Elijah against the prophets of Baal. They believed the Baal enough to go all the way up onto that mountain. I forgot what mountain it was. But they believed the Baal enough to go to that mountain. And I'm sure the Most High played tricks on them, because it tells you again in the scriptures, the deceiver are both his. The Most High, Yahweh Shem Shah, is the father of spirits. So the demons that they worship, ultimately, Yahweh Shem Shah is plaguing their mind, because, at the end of the day, the Most High, Yahweh Shem Shah, is, controlling those spirits. It tells you in the book of Psalms that all the gods of the other nations are idols. They are nothing. So these astrologers, stargazers, witches, warlocks, they're not going to be able to help you. The Lord just passing up. You got people at the end of the world that's supposed to truly believe in the scriptures, that at the end of the world, they actually leave the church and go to the devil would delve into witchcraft. If that ain't a judgment, you know what I'm saying? At the time when the prophecy speaking the loudest, you know what I mean? You got people losing their faith and going to left-hand means. And that's all based on because these Christian churches are what they founded on. They're not founded on the scriptures. When you come to find out a lot of these pastors are really fucking masons and shit. I experienced that. That was part of my testimony. I'm running from what Satan tried to get me to do and run to this church, a Methodist church. I'll never forget it. Old Methodist church in Cleveland. Kind of find out this motherfucker. It was all like spiritual. And everything when you say, through the spirit, don't necessarily have to be, because the Most High doesn't necessarily have to have it be something pleasant spiritually. It tells you in the scriptures that wisdom shall try you first. I experienced that. I didn't understand it at the time, but I get it now after, and I understand why the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahshua, constantly use repetition. You know what I mean? To drill that in there. What the elder apostle Gabar always says, he say, practice is the repetition is the father of skill or something like that, roughly paraphrase. In order to master something, you gotta constantly do it. That's what I do respect about that little weirdo little way. You know what I mean? Some people just don't you assume like you don't know what a person does outside of what you see them to have accomplished what they have accomplished. When you see a person that's good, like that guy Black Rambo, he's good at shooting because he loves shooting. So he's constantly practicing. And that's Jake. Jake be off into everything though. That's to show you. I wouldn't be surprised if Jake was the first one that came up with a gun, and for real, he saw literally came and stole the patent. That's what he just stole pretty much everything else. Verse 14, behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame, there shall not be a cold or warm at all, nor fire to sit before it. Because this place is going to be bombarded with the ICBM missiles. That's the judgment. It tells you that the smoke is going to reach up to the heavens, because at the end of the day, the sins of this place have reached on to the heavens. This place is abominable place to the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahshua. But the Most High is being patient with it, because it tells you that he's long suffering. So he got the judgment of this place mapped out. And that's a scary thing. When a person literally could get you back, but they don't touch you, they wait. Because they gonna take enjoyment in when they, what I mean? I don't know where it's at exactly, if it's in there, but I've heard the elder apostles and elders make mention of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Abba Yahweh doesn't do anything. He's the ultimate boss. He sits back. He has Yahweh Shai and the Alahayim, moving for him. He sits back and watches and dictates. And they get it done. So, what the coming destruction is about to be, he gonna just be able to sit back and watch. So if you're so-called Black Hispanic, you gotta remember, this is the Most High's movie. That's why we call it the script. We playing out our parts in this movie. Like that guy, I forgot his name, but he got a channel on YouTube called The Scariest Movie Ever. And then he goes into the truth. He goes into esoteric symbolism and all just different things that's going on in the world that people may not be aware about. So if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole, Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the laws, to the statutes, and to the commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, or you will be destroyed. So with that, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to called Loyal, Yahweh Shem Yahshua, Hashem Racha, Kodash Broken Thumb. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders, great millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth for faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Aqua, to the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this was edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appear like the other nations, subscribing to this truth to you. I say shalom. Till next time I'm able to come with another lesson. Shalom, shalom. Shalom.